Listen, is it? No problem.
No, talk. Okay,
I just hear your thoughts because what I don't understand how people go and sin knowingly and then they go off forgiveness and then they go and do it again.
First and foremost, we want to give all praises for the Hebrew Israelites. We come out, week in, week out, give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, to prophesy the downfall of Babylon. Already we know that the spirits are out here, they're going to be roused up, so, but we're for the spirit power, you help Hashem, shall we should let them come over us like that. So we're out here week in, week out, like we said, with the Hebrew Israelites, we come to prophesy the downfall of Babylon.
That's right.
You can see that the times now the Most High seeing his works, his marvelous, wonderful works, for the children of Yasharallah. In the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem, you're shining in the Yahweh shines on the Father Son. Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. In Hebrew known as Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
And we come out here to tell our brothers and sisters, the so-called black, the Negroes, Seminole Indians, Native Americans, Latin Americans, and the Latinos to come back to their nationality and their heritage and to know that the Bible speaks of you as God's chosen people. We're not out here for the mass, we're not out here for the Edomites, the so-called white man, we're not out here for the Arab man, the Elams, we're not out here for the Ishmaelites, we're out here for the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
That's right.
God's chosen people.
That's right.
To let you know that you've been living a lie for many centuries, and the Most High has now put the spirits on his prophets to come out to preach the gospel in truth and sincerity, how it should be taught. No controversies in the scriptures, Baba Kushar, if I can get no perfect interpretation to this.
This is
That's what we're out here to do. And we're doing this out of love. People go on this fantasy thing of love with your oppressor, show you what love is called. Love is cuddling up and kissing. That's not love. That's right. Love is keeping the love of the Most High. Bring that out.
This is 2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 20. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation.
So there is no private interpretation when we read the book. When we go through this, we go precept upon precept, line upon line, to get our understanding. That's how we know who we are. That's how we can identify that the Most High does not deal with a color, he deals with a nation. So it's not dealing with the mass, it deals with a nation. From Genesis all the way to Revelation.
For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of men, but holy men of power spake as they were moved by the Holy Ghost.
So read that again, Baba Kusha.
For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of men, but holy men of power spake as they were moved by the Holy Ghost.
The prophecy did not come from man's vain opinions. How the Christian church will teach our people that the John 3:16 which they love to stick to. Yeah, we love John 3:16, but you need to get the content of who the Most High speaks of. Bring it out.
James chapter 1 verse 26. If any man among you seem to be religious and bridleth not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is vain.
Your oppressor's religion is vain because they're not coming to you in the volume of the book. Mashiach Yahushua said it's coming in the volume of the book. Right. They want to graft themselves in. We're grafted in, the Gentiles are grafted in, doctrine came from. That's right. Because they want to keep us oppressed. Because the heathens know they ain't got salvation.
That's right.
They only know they can get salvation from the 12 tribes of Israel. The same with Nebuchadnezzar. How did he get salvation? Because he had to acknowledge that Yahweh was the only power.
That's right.
You know, how did Haran get destroyed? Because he went against the word, and Mashiach came as a prophecy. That's why they wanted to kill him as a babe. Because he knew he was coming for his people. He's prophesied in Jeremiah. Can't bring that up. So what?
It's in the book of Daniel. It's the book of Daniel, chapter 4 and verse 29.
Read that.
Therefore, I make a decree that every man that every people, nation, and language which speak anything and miss against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces.
Shall be what?
Shall be cut in pieces.
So big up to Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego because they stood for the word of Yahweh Shem Yoshai.
And their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other power
So their houses
that can deliver after this sort.
Exactly. Same thing that happened in Egypt. Their houses there was no power in Egypt with their Ra and all of them. The Most High wiped them out. To show that there's no. The Most High raises up these nations above our people. Our people are the only nation of people that don't know who they are. Everybody else knows who they are in the Bible, but we don't. So that's what we're out here to tell our people. We're going to prophesy onto the wind.
Right.
You know, we're in the valley of dry bones. We're not here to try and be lovey-dovey with people. Whether you're here for beer, judgment's going to come. Most likely going to execute judgment. Words don't go away.
That's right.
I'm just going to free flow with the spirit. I can ask our people, if our people come up and I ask them, they won't even know who they are. That's how sad it is. You know, they rather go and buy and sell on the Sabbath day to be with their oppressors, knowing that we have a law at the Sabbath day. We have our own separate laws. Why wouldn't you want to be a separate, why wouldn't you want to be special?
Teacher.
Like, why wouldn't you want to be a special people? If someone said to me, Raj, you know, I would love to be special.
Right.
No one wants to, everyone wants to be equal. No, I want to be special. Your oppressors are allowed to be special. So why can't you be special? They don't see you as equal. You know? They're the ones that have been robbed, raping, pillaging, and stealing from us. We just had our Passover. We know what the Passover means.
We're in unleavened bread now.
And we're in the feast of unleavened bread now. But remember, there's two major accounts of the Passover.
Wow. Appreciate that. The book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 3.
Bring it out.
The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know. My people doeth not consider.
So our people do not know. They don't even consider to actually search out their history. And the reason why that happens is because we didn't keep the laws.
Right. Verse 4. A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity.
So a sinful nation and a people laden with iniquity. Israel can only commit sin because we was given the law. We are laden with iniquity for the sins of our forefathers.
That's right. A seed of evildoers.
A seed of evildoers. The Most High said we're good at doing everything. So we're good at being wicked as well, I think.
Right. Children that are corrupted.
Children that are corrupted. Yeah?
That has forsaken Yahweh.
That has forsaken the Most High. How did we corrupt and forsake the Most High? We kept going to idolatry.
That's right.
We kept casting our pearl to the swine, to the heathens.
They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger.
So,
they are gone away backwards.
So we provoked the Most High to anger. We've gone backwards. Why would that's in that sense? You should know if we're going backwards. We should now start trying to move forward, but we can't move forward as a nation because we always want to do wickedness with the oppressor.
That's right.
We don't have patience for things.
Teach that.
Like my brother was brought it out last week beautifully. Our people, we get money, we're quick to spend it. As soon as we get paid, we're quick to spend it, but then we're quick to complain. We don't have that patience.
Right.
We're not like Joseph, putting 1/3 away and spending what we're putting. We're not like that. You got 3 seconds?
And this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 14. Turn, O backsliding children, saith the Lord. For I am married unto you.
For I am what?
For I am married unto you.
And that's the Most High speaking. So if He's telling us to come back to our nationality, to our true heritage, to knowing that we're not black, we're not so-called black. We're not Latinos, we're not Seminole Indians, we're not these nations.
That's right.
We're God's chosen people.
And I will take one of you, and I will take you one of a city and two of a family.
So he's going to take us one from a city and two from a family. That is beautiful.
And I will bring you to Zion.
And he'll bring us back
Shalom.
to Zion.
Shalom, King.
Bring us back to Zion, bring us back to our homeland. No more walking around in the land of our captivity. No more walking around in Babylon, in Assyria, in Egypt, calling ourselves Egyptians. No more. He's going to bring us back to Zion, to Israel, to Jerusalem, to Holy Land.
Right.
Where these damn aliens have now congregated themselves.
That's
Like, I'm happy to hear that the Most High is going to do that for us. I'm happy to know that I'm going to have a nationality, to know that my brother's not a so-called Jamaican. My brother is not a so-called Ghanaian, or, you know, that we are children of Israel.
That's right.
Because chosen, I'm happy to hear that I have a nationality. Our people don't want to be, they want to be called Black British and Black African Americans. They want to be called that. But in this time now, hey, our people need to wake up, man. Because destruction's coming on us full force. More than these people. We got the Lord. So our punishment's gonna be worse. We know better. We always got brought up to say, if you know better, do better. Those who can't hear must feel. The Bible, the Most High teaches that not these heathen nations. So I was saying we're in the time of Exodus now. We've had two accounts of Exodus. We had Exodus when Moses took the Israelites out of Egypt. Yeah? The Passover. And now we're going into the second Exodus, where the Mashiach's going to come back and take his people. Brother, you know that the Bible documents your history? Yeah. So you know who you are in the Bible? So who are you in the Bible, bro? See, that's what I'm saying. Our people laden with iniquity. Yeah, I know, but he ain't gonna take time. Our people are impatient.
Why are you breaking the Sabbath then?
See? Our people do not consider, man. When the Mashiach comes back, boy, there's gonna be hell to pay amongst Israel. He's visiting Israel first. He's cleaning up house. He's cleaning up house. So we need to get right. That's why we're out here. We can tell you, get right, because we're getting right ourselves. Got a preset up? Go on.
This is First Chronicles chapter 16, verse 13. O ye seed of Israel.
Oh, ye what?
O ye seed of Israel.
Read.
Ye servants. Ye children of Jacob, his chosen one.
His chosen one. Ye children of Jacob, that's New Testament. Yeah? So that's Chronicles, you children of Israel. But we're mentioned in the New Testament as well. God don't change. So he's not going to change who his chosen people are.
And this is First Peter chapter 2 and verse 9.
Bring it out.
But ye are a chosen generation.
Ye are what?
But ye are a chosen generation.
We're a chosen generation. What's a generation?
A royal priesthood.
A royal priesthood.
A holy nation. A peculiar people. That ye should show forth the praises of him who have called to you out of darkness.
He's called us out of darkness
into his marvelous light.
So when he's called us out of darkness, he's called us to come back to understand who we are as a nationality. He tells us to gather together. Can you give me?
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14. And verses, Deuteronomy chapter 14 and verses 2. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself,
The Most-
above all the nations that are upon the earth.
So the Most High has chosen you so-called black Native Americans, Seminole Indians and Latinos to be above all these people. But we're happy to be slaves to these people. But he told us to gather together, to build up and rise up the nation of Israel. Read that to me, Sean.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
So what nation of the planet, of this world, is not desired? We can see it, it's evident in your social media, on their news outlets, what nations are not desired. Everything you see, your advertisement, you see an Edomite, you never see a so-called Israelite or a so-called black man.
That's right.
If you see a so-called black man on it, it's always with an Edomite woman.
That's right.
It's always cooning. But the majority of the time, they don't even put the so-called black man on the others because they know that's where the power is in the so-called black man. Teach to read.
God. Before, verse 2, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass, as the chaff, before the fierce anger of Yahweh come upon you. Be before the day of Yahweh's anger come upon you.
So before the time, so gather yourselves now. Let's gather as a nation now. Come back to the law, statutes and commandments of the Most High Yahweh in the name of the only begotten Son Yahweh Shai, in the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. Come back now. Before he starts tearing the sky apart and ripping everyone a new one.
That's right.
He's gonna do it.
That's right.
You know? Stop being a damn servant to your oppressors, man. Stop making them money, making them wealthy, and come back and get wealth from the Most High.
Verse 3.
Sister, come hear the word.
Seek the Lord Yahweh. Seek the Lord Yahweh, O ye meek of the earth.
Sister, do you know that the Bible documents your history? You know the Lord. You know the Bible documents your history, yeah? Kind of. Come and hear the word and come and get understanding, sister. It's alright. You got that. Do you like the Bible? You love the Most High? Give the Most High 10 minutes. That's what it is. 10 minutes. Come quickly. Alright, sister, you're God's chosen people, right?
That's right.
You're a child of God. You're an Israelite that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
You're not. Keep his laws, his statutes, and his commandments, yeah? You're not just another so-called black woman. You're a child, you're a princess of Israel.
That's right.
You're a princess of the Most High.
That's right.
And you need to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments so we can get the kingdom for you. Yeah? And take care of your sister. Stop buying and selling on the Sabbath day as well. Keep the Sabbath holy. Shalom.
That's right. Come on.
Yeah, people need to know.
That's right. It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 3. Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment.
Seek the Lord, all you meek. Our people are very meek when they need to be, when they can be meek. Because we're always crying, we're in the tribulations. That's meekness. We're always praying for like help from the Most High. These heathens don't pray, so
right.
It shows where meekness falls upon.
That's right. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger.
So when we seek the righteousness and the meekness from the Most High, you children of Israel, He will deliver us from the hands of our enemies, from our oppressors. We start to gain back that power that we once knew. We have a zeal, but not according to knowledge. So we know that we're the most powerful nation. But right now, because of we've been blinded, we're in darkness, that the Most High said He puts in darkness, we don't know how to tap into that power. But He said in the last day He's going to pour His Spirit upon Israel,
right,
that we may remember. We're going to, in chapter 2, verse 28. You got to preach it up? Yeah. Bring that up.
This is Psalms 118 and verse 16. The right hand of the Lord is exalted. The right hand of the Lord doeth valiantly. I shall not die but live and declare the works of the Lord.
That's right. All praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Give the Most High right.
That's right.
That's David. That's David saying that in the Psalm. You know? We're going to do the works of the Most High. We're going to exalt him with our right hand. He's going to exalt us with his right hand. We give the praises to the Most High because he gives us the wisdom and understanding to come out here and tell you that these are not like you're not below these heathens.
That's right.
We're above these nations.
Huh.
Read up.
Huh. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 2.
2 verse 30. Root 2 30.
Yeah, this book of Baruch, chapter 2, verse 30.
Bring it out.
For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people.
Hold it. So the Most High said he knew that we weren't going to hear him because we're stiff-necked people.
Right.
You so-called black people, you Negroes, you should know that word very much. Because we're the only nation of people that use that word stiff-necked. I don't hear no heathen say you're stiff-necked. Your parents always got, why you sound stiff-necked? We always get told this. Most High says the same thing.
But in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves.
So in the land of the captivities where we are now, where we're still slaves to the so-called white man, people don't like to hear it, but it's the truth. The truth hurts, but the truth shall set you free. We are slaves to the so-called white man. In the land of our captivity, we should know who we are. Read.
Verse 31. And shall know that I am the Lord their God. For I give them an heart and ears to hear.
So the Most High give us a heart and ears to hear. So he gave us the heart, the ears to hear his message, his understanding, to understand that we...
Israelites, the minute, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
So the Most High, so hear this, read that
Yeah,
again.
but listen to you, man.
It's the book of Baruch, chapter 2, verse 31. And shall know that I am the Lord their God. For I give them an heart and ears to hear.
That's some prayer you can put for the brother. So brother, we're going to show you something in the Bible that
He
these
said he
Christians...
come back one picture, second time, that part there.
No. I want to show you what the Most High said for us. Yeah, we went into bondage for a second time. That's on Deuteronomy 28. So now we're going to show you what the Most High said about us now waking up as a people. At the end of
Which chapter you reading now?
So this is so he's going to read it now. Bring it out.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 2, verse 30.
Yeah?
For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people.
Yeah, so we didn't hear it. So remember you said about the second captivity, which was in Deuteronomy? Yeah?
But in the land of their captivity,
Hold on. So are we still in our land of our captivity?
We're still there, man. Yes.
So we're still serving the white man, right?
Yes.
We're still breaking the Sabbath things, right?
Yes.
Read.
they shall remember themselves.
So in the land of our captivity, we're going to remember ourselves.
That's what you just start realizing now.
That's how he's like,
Black lives matter and everything happening.
So see this Black Lives Matter movement that they're doing, that's witchcraft. Because all them sisters that are in Black Lives Matter, they're under the so-called white man. He funds the Black Lives Matter. So
Carry on reading the brother, I want to listen to this one as well.
yeah.
So.
Read.
That's a different Bible from the ordinary one, isn't it?
So this is the King James 1611.
Oh, is it?
So it's got the Apocrypha and the hidden.
1611 edition.
Yeah. So we're going to finish this off.
Baruch chapter 2, verse 31. And shall know that I am the Lord their God. For I give them an heart and ears to hear. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name.
So think about what?
And think upon my name.
So now that we've come back and we're understanding who we are, that this is not a book of religion, it's a book of history, and it talks
That's why I
about
call it history book.
and it talks about a
Seriously.
nation of people.
Yeah.
What the so-called white man, the so-called Jewish man, the oppressors.
There's no such thing called Jewish. Let's make it up.
The reason why we say Jew is because of the Ashkenazis, yes, all of those, the Edomites that the Bible speaks of. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Because of they've taught us that this is a religious book.
Because there's a Bible.
They want to graft in everyone.
There's a Bible I picked up one time. A Rastaman did that, and he told me about about 7, 8 twins that Adam and Eve had.
7, 8 twins.
They had about 7 or 8 set of twins there.
That's what I'm saying.
Right now, they tell you about one set of twins Chronicles in there. Ordinary Bible.
In the book of Baruch, chapter 2, verse 33, and return from their stiff-neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before the Lord. And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be Lord of it. And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished.
So he's going to increase the nation of Israel after this captivity. That we get the promises. Remember, the promise was given to Moses, that was given to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob was then wrestled with the angels, then got taken to Israel.
That's right.
So that's why we know it as the Israelites, 12 tribes of Israel. Yeah? So that's how you can understand the forefathers. Yeah? So when we come back to the last statutes and commandments and keep the laws, the way we do it is you can get me on this is how we keep it Lord. This is how we get understanding.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, and verses 7.
See how we're going from
Yes, I understand.
the Christian chapter.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee thy elders, and he will tell thee. When the Most High divided the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
The number of the children of who?
According to the number of the children of Israel.
Is that 12 or 13?
12.
12 tribes, yes.
12 tribes of Israel, yeah? So he set them, so he divided the nations their inheritance,
But
he
they
set the
separate with
bounds.
different mothers, innit? And one was a Muslim, innit? That's where the Muslims, so-called Muslims have come from, innit?
No, you need to understand. This is why it says, remember the days of old. So when you remember the days of old, you have to come back as a child and read the Bible again.
Go on, I'm listening to you. Yeah.
That's how we got understanding. We have to go back and we have to identify
Certain things.
go through the curses, what nation of people the most I was speaking about, through the precepts we've got understanding. So we couldn't just read the whole book and be like, oh nah, no. We have to go to this book to get understanding.
Nice one, brother.
Yeah?
Yes,
So what I'm saying, what I'm trying to tell you, Elder, is that when you identify all these other philosophies that they're going to tell you about, what you were saying, Adam and Eve had the number 72. That's not written in, if it does not say the Most High, it's not of the Most High.
But I believe in the way I believe it's true.
This is the book of Matthew chapter 18 and verse 3. The book of Matthew chapter 18 and verse 3. And said, verily, I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself and as this little child, the same is great in the kingdom of heaven.
So what you're saying there, you have to be learned again.
Yeah, but here's this part now, right? So when you get it right out here, brother, you want to go to
Thank you, Amos.
thank you, Gary, Charles. When they come up, when they get to the garden, right? It's a father, God, if anything is supposed to happen, if anybody there's going to harm me, I shall go up after this sevenfold, that if anybody touches me, there shall be harmed sevenfold. So why is he talking about them other people, them?
And someone did touch him.
Right, but think of it, where did these other people, if he's fearing of other people, who's he talking about?
Right, so
Who is he talking about? He's talking about his siblings, them, innit?
No, did you know that there was people before Adam and Eve?
Giants.
No, there was people before Adam and Eve. Did you know that? There was a nation of people on earth before Adam and Eve. So that's what I'm saying, you have to go back to the beginning and get understanding. Because Adam and Eve, he says, go create man in his image. But beforehand, the angels were created.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And in Genesis,
And then look, and then he took a word. Look, listen to this. It's in Genesis chapter 4, verse 16. And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod, of the east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife.
Cain knew his wife. So if Adam and Eve was the first two created, who's his wife then? Then his wife must have been his sister.
Yeah, that's what the argument was about. That's why I killed brother.
So
Because he wanted the sister he was born with.
No. Read it again.
He went to some. He went to not the land of Nod. I know that guy. He went to the land of Nod.
This is Cain.
Let me get into it. I'll read it to you now.
Listen. You gotta be like a child, innit?
Yeah, remember we said,
Humble yourself like a child.
humble yourself like a child.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 4. And Abel, he also brought of the firstling of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering, but unto Cain and to his offering he had no respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? So yeah, that's
So Cain and Abel, he had wrath against Abel, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when he killed Abel, it wasn't for
That's a jealousy.
it was because of
First
the
off,
Most High had favor in Abel's offspring. It's the same thing that happened. It was happening through generations. It happened through generations. The Most High change.
God is fine. He's a forgiving God, though. Because I read the other day, he said all the bad things what I've done. He said, forgive me, I repent. I said, Lord, thank you, Lord. Because I was naughty. Not wicked, naughty.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 17. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, nor thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his neighbor's servant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, or anything that is thy neighbor's.
So that's being that jealousy of your brother's stuff. So this is the same. So remember we said we have to remember the days of old to get understanding of these things. That's why. So going back to Cain and Abel, we need to understand right where these things.
See, I'm not scriptures. You said it right.
Because it happened with Cain and Abel. It happened with Jacob and Esau.
Well, you got them things to say.
No, we don't say. You can buy them. No, we put these are apples.
Oh, you buy them online?
Yeah. You can buy these online. Amazon. You know.
Yeah. Listen, my brother, you're there every week?
We try to come back, most high winning, we come back every Sabbath on a Saturday.
Alright, yeah. So where are you based then?
We don't have a church.
So you haven't have a Sabbath?
We don't have a tabernacle.
Alright.
Remember, the most high don't go to the temple. God don't go. We don't go.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
You don't go to the temple. Where did he say the temple is?
If I'm going to give you my temple, they give the temple to it and then they turn around and change.
So this is our YouTube channel, we're on Instagram here, and Facebook as well, yeah? So
Yes,
YouTube is a fan of Israel.
That's the
That's the Most High's name, Yahweh in Hebrew. Yahweh. Yeah? And his son's name is Yahweh Shai. Yeah?
And this is the book of This is the first Corinthians, chapter 3 and verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you.
We are the temple then, so you don't have to build no temple.
Yeah,
We are the
but
temple.
remember, he's not
Yeah, that's what my doctor said. Yes.
Hear this, brother. He's not talking to the whole world.
No,
He's talking to the nation.
that's right.
Who was the law given to?
Israel.
That's right.
So who did so-called Jesus come back to save? These people, right? So who's the temple going to be in? Is it going to be in this so-called white woman?
No.
Is it going to be in this so-called white man? It's going to be in Jesus' people.
Yes, Jesus.
Not black people, the Israelites.
This is the book.
People call them religious bandits.
This
the Jewish people.
That's the bandits, yes. This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord have spoken against you, O children of Israel.
Oh, children of who?
O children of Israel.
This is God telling us now. This is a punishment.
Against the whole family,
Against the whole family.
which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, You only have I known.
You what?
You only have I known.
No, I've known the Edomite.
You only have I known.
I've known Ishmael.
You only have I known.
I've known Moab.
You only have I known.
That's right.
Of all the families of the earth.
Of who?
Of all the families of the earth.
Don't know this white man. You don't know that white man. Or that Arab man. That you don't know them. You don't know their family.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
So he's punishing us for our iniquities. Because of we did keep the laws. Remember you get. We were saying earlier.
Why them fear with me?
We were saying earlier, our people, if we want to be wicked, we can be wicked.
I'm naughty, but I'm not.
But that's what I'm saying. Our people, if we want to be, and our people were being wicked because we was casting our righteousness onto the other nations, and the Most High said we got separate. So now that you know that we're Israel, we have to do so now we need to give you some laws properly so you can get understanding. And once you start keeping these laws and these vibrations, we pray that the Most High goes to
Listen to brother then. Listen to mother and tell you our praises to God here.
Brother,
I'll see you again.
wait 1 minute for the Lord here.
Wait for a law, bro.
Do you know what sort of food you can and cannot eat?
No.
Don't eat crab.
What?
Crab.
No. Did I eat crab?
Lobster.
Lobster, yeah. No, must
Prawns.
None of them
You
things.
must not eat one of
They're
them.
scavengers.
We're going to bring you to the Lord so you
Yes, I know
understand.
them things. They're really just me.
This is Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 27. Thee shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shall thy more the corners of thy beds.
So you shouldn't round the corners of your head, so not making baldness in your head. Yeah, or getting shape up. See, like, yeah.
That's cool, bald.
If you go bald naturally, then let it naturally go bald. If you can grow hair, then let it grow. But see how you see young brothers now they get shape up.
Oh, they're pretty misguided.
All the your moustache as well. Yeah, don't shape it up. That's mine. No pretty chicken.
Yeah, I do like it. Just what I
Yeah,
do
no
like
pretty chicken.
I'm just like it.
I'll read it again.
I don't make a problem about it.
And this is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 27. Thee shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shall thy mar the corners of thy beds.
You shouldn't even shape up your face. If it's gonna grow, you can trim it.
Yeah, alright.
But don't make shape up. No. I promise to him. Yeah. But let it grow naturally. That's your mane. Be like a lion.
Yeah.
Don't cut a lion's mane. What's it gonna do to you? Yeah. Where's the lion?
What them thing I mean?
Huh? This is the Hebrew. So remember I think so this is the paleo. The first, not the Yiddish. This is ancient.
So what's that your name? That's
my name.
What's your name? What's that?
My name will be the icon. You read it wrong.
What? Sorry?
Your icon.
And yours is?
Yeshaya. And this is
Is that why
Luke.
the man show is it by? Because I was born in June, man.
No, it's not fun.
That's my name. Yeshaya means Isaiah.
Yeah, this is
The icon means Jacob. Satan
What's Michael?
Maya Ka'ala.
Sorry?
Maya Ka'ala.
and in the translation it means black power.
Warrior.
And I'm the oldest
This is-
one in all my family.
This is Luke chapter 23 and verses 37. And saying, if thou be the king of the Jews, save thyself. And an inscription also was written over him in letters of Greek and Latin and Hebrew.
Greek, Latin, and Hebrew.
This is the king of the Jews.
This is the king of the Jews. So that was what they put in the tent. But that was a prophecy as well, because of, you can see now that our people are dispersed among those nations. More so, a lot of our people are into like the Hebrew, the 12 tribes, like the 3 tribes, the Benjamin, by Judah. They West Indian, Southern Kingdom.
That's where your parents come from.
Yeah.
The West Indian.
Yeah.
So we are different from Africans.
Yeah, we are.
When my son is telling me, he said like,
The West Coast of
then said we are.
But the West Coast, see like the West Coast.
I don't really want to die. I really
So look, this is from this book here, told you here about the Africans. So Ham, the youngest son of Noah, the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians. So they're the Africans. We're the Negroes. We're the Israelites. But what society's done is for us to just come together for this.
And this is the book of Exodus chapter 11 and 7. But against the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
Between who?
Between the Egyptians and Israel.
What is that one again? Sorry, what chapter is that one?
Exodus 11 and 7.
Nice, listen, that one I'm not going to bring right to my mother now.
Yeah? So we're not African brothers, yeah?
Yeah.
Ma'aka Allah, yeah?
Yeah.
We're not Leo Scipio
Yes,
African.
man. Listen, thank you.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Don't keep the Sabbath holy, so no buying or selling, yeah? Don't go and buy anything today. Go home.
Oh,
go
see,
just
just buy them today, see.
No, today's the Sabbath day.
We're going to pay wages today because I've got somebody doing my floor today.
No cooking.
left in my house.
You're gonna have to
I'm
wait.
paying.
When the sun sets,
What,
you
after
can pay
6
it.
o'clock?
When the sun sets,
After the sun sets.
After 6 o'clock,
yeah,
yeah.
after the sun sets.
Yeah. Alright, then after 6 o'clock.
Remember,
After the sun
the
sets.
sun sets. But when
What
the
time
sun
I set then? 9
probably
o'clock,
about
6
7 o'clock today.
7 o'clock today, yeah.
But just wait until it
I've
gets
got
darker.
somebody doing my floor in it.
Yeah.
Well then, yeah, man.
Only left it there for a few hours.
Try not to let no one else do work for you either.
Exactly. No one should be working for you on the
But I
Sabbath.
can't do the
No, but let him do it another day. You don't want no one to work for you as well.
I'm paying him for it. I'm
We'll
paying
show
him
you.
wage. I'm paying him, giving him wages.
No, we'll show you the reason why, brother, yeah?
But I'm paying him wages. Listen, I can't agree.
Alright, we're just going to show you, brother, yeah? This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shall thy labor and do all thy works, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, or thy stranger that is within thy gates. For the 6th day, for in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
I better really
Exactly. And that's what they did. The reason why they confused the nation is because of they say, and this is how they get our people on the Saturday you get double pay. That's how they used to keep us to break the Sabbath.
And Sunday, enough
Sabbath
people
day.
go to church on Sunday too.
Exactly. But when you know history, you always knew that Sunday was the first day of the week. So if it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So from Friday sunset, Friday sundown, Saturday sunset, Sabbath day.
Friday to Sunday.
Yeah, so from Friday sunset,
So you must have been looking at 24 hours then, or what?
you can. So we
After
have
Sunday.
on a Friday. Friday's called a day of preparation. So you prepare your food during the day. As soon as the sun sets, no cooking, no serve-our work. So you stop all manner of work. Sit down, read the Bible with your family.
That's right.
Pray for the Most High. Everyone comes, oh yeah, brother, I'm gonna come work for you. No, you just go into your house and go and break my son. But the most
Hey, usually I spread out off the usually I go the other way. I got that
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 27.
I'm gonna come up this way, yeah. You see
Jeremiah 17, verse 27. But if thou wilt not hearken unto me to hallow the Sabbath day, and not to bear a burden, even entering in at the gate of Jerusalem on the Sabbath day, then will I kindle a fire in the gates thereof, and it shall devour the places of Jerusalem, and it shall not be quenched.
So if we break the Sabbath day, the Most High he's gonna bring wrath. That's whoa.
And he ain't gonna relax.
He ain't gonna relax from me. He's gonna keep it burning. See what the they say black fire. It continues to burn. That's what the Most High does. everything to burn.
In other words,
And we're
bad
gonna
luck
get mashed
everything
up.
all the time. So everything nothing good luck.
But because you didn't know that, brother, the Most High can wink at that. You didn't have no knowledge of that. Now that you have knowledge of it, you can tell him. Look,
6 till 6.
If you know better,
So 6 from Friday evening right round to Saturday.
no, sundown.
Sunday and Friday evening.
Yeah, so when the sun set,
Saturday sundown.
Saturday sundown,
Right.
Friday sundown. Not 6 o'clock, no 6 o'clock thing.
Every weekend out. Every weekend out.
We try to come out.
Where else do you usually go? Where else do
We
you
go
go?
all over. We do what the Most High tells us.
But we come here
Come here more.
predominantly. This is Isaiah 58 and 13. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord, honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thy own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words, then shall thy dwell thy safe then shall thy dwell then shall thy delight thyself in the Lord, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob, Jacob thy father, for the mouth of the Lord have spoken it.
So when we keep these Sabbath days of his righteous vibration, he will bless it and he will rise us up above these nations. So he'll give us more wisdom, more knowledge and understanding.
Anyway,
Come like sons.
This time I'm definitely going to walk now.
Yeah? And remember,
I wish I could have stand out there.
one more thing for you, brother. Because you said you normally go around.
Yeah, this
This is why. Now hear this.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 24. Man's going are of the Lord.
So man's going of the Lord.
How can a man then understand his own way?
for real.
You went that way.
Oh, you always go that way.
Most have
That's right.
My brother Batman is on St. Anne's Road. One is winning $6 or one. It's up there.
But now you got understanding. Now you got understanding, brother.
Yes.
So now you know you
That's
come
what I
here.
said to this man.
You can go now and say to that brother, look, today is Sabbath day.
Yeah.
You didn't know no better. When you go, I'll pay your money. I can't pay your money now. You pay it later. And then he said to him, next time I want you to come and fix my house.
Yeah.
You got from Sunday to Friday.
Yeah, that's real. Thank you very much.
For him to come to your yard.
Yeah. I know he's going to argue with me, you know, but look here. Just tell him to wait a few hours and done, innit?
If you ain't got patience,
Yeah.
bro.
Well, he's got the keys anyway. He can't wait, yes?
Yeah, he can't wait.
Shalom, bro. Shabbat shalom, bro. Praise the Yahweh.
Father, brothers, for helping me. Let's keep it rolling. See, that's a beautiful sign there from the Most High. When our people incline their ears and hear, all the things gonna walk around the other way, the Most High will get edified. That's all we pray for. You know, the angels repent at one person that repents.
That's right.
Over a mass of people. You know, like our people, it's set because of judgment is executed immediately. Our people do wickedness. You know, the scriptures tell us that. But when you have a little patience and a little decorum, the Most High will work with you, give you understanding.
Right.
And this is like a piece of
Go bring it out.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 2, and verse 26.
Bring it out.
And ye shall eat in plenty, and be satisfied, and praise the name of the Lord thy God, that have dwelt wondrously with you, and my people shall never be ashamed.
But we'll never be, when we start keeping these righteous probations, coming back to the law, statutes and commandments of the Most High Yahweh, by some of y'all shy, these so-called black people, sisters that keep going to these elons, buying their weaves and everything, when you stop doing them, the Most High is going to exalt you. Go and read.
Verse 27, ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel.
Then he's going to be in the midst of us, he's going to be around us, a barrier, a wall, a shield.
And that I am the Lord your God, and none else.
That is our power, he's our Yahweh, he's our Yahweh Shai, and no one else is.
That's right.
He ain't here for everyone.
Come on.
And my people shall never be ashamed.
And we ain't gonna be ashamed how we are now.
Yeah.
When we come back to the law, statutes and commandments of the Most High, we're not going to be ashamed. We're not going to look at our brothers with an evil eye. We're gonna love each other, and He's gonna rise us up as a nation. Our nation should be ruling and right and risen up.
That's right.
That's right. Oh.
Like we're out here standing and praying for the destruction of this place. We're praying for our people to come back to the law, statutes and commandments. We're praying that our little children, they can walk around freely and not be persecuted just for being a dark-skinned person
Right.
or an Israelite. Spirit bears witness. The heathen though you are. Yeah, don't bring it out.
This is Psalms. This is Psalms chapter 6 and verses 6.
Read that.
I am weary with my groaning all the night. Make I my bed to swim. I water my couch with my tears.
Right.
Mine eyes is consumed because of grief. I wax old because of all mine enemies.
Because of what?
Because of all mine enemies.
So we're up here and we're silent crying because of our enemies. We're not doing this individual so-called black people or so-called individual like thing. We're doing this, we're crying for a nation.
Right.
If one of our hurts, we hurt. So when we're seeing our people being destroyed, it hurts us because we don't want to see that destruction on our people. We
Oh.
Depart from me. Depart from me, all ye workers of iniquity.
So depart from us, you workers of iniquity, the ones that want to join hand in hand with the heathen.
For Yahweh have heard the voice of my weeping.
God, the Most High heard the voice of our weeping. So that was a beautiful thing that the Most High heard our voice and the brother come up and got edified. We just pray that more people, more of our nation, not the world, the so-called world that you live in, the world of Israel, we pray that they come up and get edified. That will bring joy upon us and bring joy upon the Most High. You know? Instead of us walking around like to and fro, not knowing where we're going. Some of our people are out here just to be out here.
Oh.
They ain't even really got nothing to do. You know, it's just convenient. It's a Saturday. They just want to see some little something. Brother, look, our people don't know. Go on. No, I really pray that the Most High, when he gets the one first, that he's very humble with us, you know.
Right.
Pray that people can repent.
Oh.
You know? You know, so we're out here, we're standing and crying for our people. We're not, just because we're not doing this whole protesting with a banner, walking down the road screaming Black Lives Matter. No, that's never got us anywhere.
That's right. Teacher.
This is a testimony for me. Coming to the world and coming into this truth has done me more better than doing a protest about Black Lives Matter.
That's right.
I've learnt more.
Oh.
I have understanding. I have brothers.
Exactly.
I felt built as a nation.
Right.
You know, I give all praises to the Most High. That I'm not walking around like a dry bone.
Oh. Right.
But at the same time, I do have my burdens that I have to carry to come out here and teach you to come out of your wicked ways. We have to work, now that I know that I'm Israel, I have to teach you so I can get the blood off my hand.
Right. God.
How am I going to know that I am Israel and not teach my own people? I'm stealing from the Most High. Clearly, if I do that.
Right.
We're not like these heathen nations who trying to keep everybody as one. Nah, I'm telling you, so-called blacks, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, Latinos, that you are separate.
That's right.
These other nations already see you as separate. If you was equal as them, you'll be getting equal liberty.
That's right. Teach, right?
You be on the equal balance of them. You'll be owning banks, you'll be owning buildings, but you don't own Kanish.
That's right.
Or Effort Sugar Honey Iced Tea, you don't own it. Yeah. So, I'm going to close that, I'm going to pass it on to my next brother. Give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai. We say, Sawada Abanawa, Kwam Yasharallah.
Come.
Allah, Yahweh.